Hey everyone, and welcome to a little review of the playtest of Jurassic World Evolution 2 that took place a couple of weeks ago, in which I was invited alongside some other creators to play the Chaos mode. So first things first, if you guys want to see the full and uncut video of this playthrough, you can find this on my channel right now as well. I have it 1 hour and 10 minutes of gameplay with my live commentary. I messed up a lot of things, but I think I can still give a very good insight into the game with a couple of new additions to what you've seen a couple of weeks ago with some other creators, such as Best in Slot, for example. Now we had the chance to play San Diego Zoo, I was about to say zoo, but San Diego Park. So this is pretty cool. So as you all know, the Chaos mode guides you through some events of Jurassic Park and Jurassic World that could have taken place, and Jurassic Park San Diego, as being part of the second one, obviously is definitely one of the most interesting ones to be played, I guess, and definitely one of those things that I was looking forward to the most, and I'm guessing that also the original Jurassic Park will be a thing. So for everyone who's a J-POC fan such as I am, I guess this is a very good news. But also it was very relevant to see what kind of buildings we have, and I can also confirm already that you get a lot of different building styles. You can vary between the original Jurassic World and Jurassic Park and Jurassic World styles. You can even mix and match them by these different types in the buildings. So if you watch my 1 hour and 10 minute playthrough, you can definitely see a lot of things that I actually changed and did, you know, just kind of got an idea. There will also be a speed build of the Mainstreet that I did, which is really specifically talking about the building and the decoration itself. So if you're really interested for that, keep your eyes on the channel. And I will be also covering a lot of Jurassic World Evolution 2 in the next coming weeks, of course, on the channel, such as infos and so on. And then when the game finally drops, we will play a lot of it. But now, I will give you a good, couple of minutes now of my review of the game. Now, I think there were a few little issues here of the balancing of this game. Towards the end of this Chaos mode, I got a lot into struggle to really fulfill the guest needs, and I think there is still a bit of an imbalance happening, and that was a little bit of a major complaint I had at the very end, simply because that kept me from going further into the play. I really wasn't able to fulfill some of the needs, and I'm just very happy that the likes of Evolution Square, who had the recording with me at the same time, we were kind of in the same recording room, if you will, virtual recording room. She basically had the same issues as I had, so it's not like because I'm a noob, it's also because it just wasn't working totally, and that was the one very negative part about it. However, I think this is very cool also. I did not really dive too much into Jurassic World Evolution 2 yet. I enjoyed Jurassic World Evolution 1 kind of okay. I had I had some severe hours in the game, but the lack of creative tools and stuff just kept me from playing more. I know recently there was a lot of things happening in the community that could have made me play again, but since Planet Zoo was happening, obviously I did not. But this will also guide you now into what I'm talking about now, and this is really the feeling of playing this game is a huge step up for me from the first part of this game. I really loved all the little nits and bits that were implemented. It feels a lot like the first game, so you feel right at home. Not really much changed about the UI and stuff, so everything is basically pretty familiar, but you just have a lot more options. You have a lot more options in terms of, creative options in the habitat itself. The brushes are a bit more precise. You have a lot of things in there which we had to wait for until the very last DLC of this game. There's a lot of other stuff happening in here, which is really cool. I also had a little bit of a playthrough for the first level that you all know from some streams already, just to get the grip of it, and we weren't allowed to record it, but we just had 1 hour more to play that one to get really used to the game, in which I also got a lot of insight about like the scenario mode, which is also a lot refreshing, kind of different, and I really think this will make me happy because honestly though, the first levels in the first part were a bit repetitive, simply because how they were set up, and this time around they have a lot more freedom in creating these scenarios, which is really cool, and that was a big positive. But again, Also, it feels at home, but then again, you have got so many more options. I really have to say also the scientist system got me a little bit confused at first. I mean, I watched a lot of videos from Best in Slot and all the other creators like Raptor and so on, and you know, I tried to somehow get already all the knowledge out of it to get it into the test, but I wasn't really able to understand that much. By the way, beautiful animation there in background. I love that one of these two dinosaurs interacting, and just in general, there's a lot more interaction going on between dinosaurs, which I talk about in a couple of minutes a bit more. But back to the scientist system, I really love the fact that we have a lot more to spend time now into this research, and we can't just like blindly research everything. And I'm very happy they just focus this on the scientists, so it's not only having several teams like dig sites teams and blah blah blah. You always have the scientists, and you need to have all these different skill points to be able to research something. However, for me, this was really a struggle to really understand who I have to employ, what kind of treats they need, and you really have to understand first of all how that works. And this really took a couple of minutes, because in the scenario you don't really have to do that much. You just have to employ one, and then basically that's the perfect employee you need for the task, and you know, you get this. It's basically like a tutorial. And in here I was like, what the hell, who am I gonna take? Because you don't only have to pay attention to what they do and how many treats to different items they have. No, you also have to pay attention to what they, in terms of how much rest they have, because you sometimes need to get them into the staff building to, you know, offer them some rest, because otherwise they will be very likely to do some sabotage. And this is how the new sabotage system works. You still get some quests every now and then that you can fulfill, but I really didn't get to that point because I was too focused on getting that level done. But it's very interesting. It's really giving the game a bit more of a complex system in terms of research, dig sites, and you know, all that kind of stuff in one. So it really makes a lot more sense. I also like the new power generators a lot, and in general the power system has not really changed that much. You do still have the same, but you don't always have these ugly lines hanging everywhere, because you now have the new generator that has a certain radius, and in that radius it just basically connects the buildings, which I love a lot more, because that just takes away from the ugliness of all these overhanging cables everywhere. And then you also have obviously the ranger outpost and some really new items. You can put the your rangers on a route, which I also like a lot. I mean, you've seen that potentially in some place already, but this is really taking a bit away of the nasty little things you always do. So you have them on a route, they do their stuff, and that's fine. So really good on that note, that it really makes a lot more sense in regards to micromanagement. There's a lot more to do, but it doesn't really feel so repetitive, and that's really cool. Some things I still had a bit of a problem with, and that was again the game wasn't too precise in what we need to do at some point. So some things weren't really obvious. Whether it's been a fence that was broken, the items were kind of, you know, a bit too big, and then they were not in the right position. And I really got a little bit of a struggle to find where I need to go. I think that will, you know, easily iron out after I've played a couple of hours, and then you will basically know everything again. And also because I haven't played the game for so long, it might also be my own stupidity, but still, even though then it would be nice if the game offered a bit more kind of easy access to what you need to do. But other than that, I was really pleased with the experience. These 2 hours were just gone in no time. I enjoyed it throughout. The performance, I mean, I can't tell too much about the performance, because like that was a remote event playing on another one's computer. I had no idea what kind of specs they were running, so I don't know if it's good or not. I'm assuming it's the same as Jurassic World Evolution 1, which was good performance, great performance. It's optimized for consoles, and you can definitely expect that this is going to be a good one. What I do like about this, though, is the amount of new little details in the game that you don't necessarily see from the menus or so, but you see it from playing the game. So let's start with the animations of the animals, or of the dinosaurs. I've seen so many species interaction in the same species. That was amazing. The compies did like a little bit of fighting together, like play fight kind of thing. Then you had you have seen the T-Rex just kind of chewing on the same piece of meat and then stealing the piece of meat from each other, which happens every now and then. And then you have some varying meat eating animations, so it's always not always the same. I saw 2 different goat kill animations, so that's kind of, there's a lot more variation. It feels a lot more organic, a lot more natural. I saw a lot more cool hunting animations in the first thing. So there were a lot cool things in that made the game feel a lot more versatile. The same goes about rocks, for example, because you've got, you know, there are not too many rocks in there, but since you can rotate them basically in many different directions, you have a greater kind of variety of pieces and so on. So that's really cool. That's really needed, and also brings a better experience to the game overall. And what I also liked a lot is the fact that you have a lot of decoration in there. However, speaking about decoration, I really hope they still increase the amount of the deco you have in the game. If you've seen the full gameplay, you've seen that I tried every decoration I could find in the game to build like a little main street and a little entrance to the big San Diego Dome. But there wasn't like so much. It was okay, you know, and what I loved a lot is the hitboxes got really narrowed down, which means you can put things very close to each other. I mean, it's still not no hitbox at all, but it's still way better than in the first iteration of the game. So it's a lot closer to each other. You can basically build custom fences and so on. So that's really cool. And also you've got some benches and bins and custom stuff like that to put it down. You can put it on the roads. There is no hitbox on the roads or so. You can put it all down. So that's really cool as well. You can make some little seating areas and stuff. You know, for me, like a sandbox player, that is really cool. I love the territory feature. I think I don't need to talk too much about it because basically you guys have seen it. And I think now we should definitely talk a bit more about the chaos mode to round this review off. And, you know, we started there, we end there. The Chaos Mode, again, guides you through some events of Jurassic Park franchise that could have happened. And here's me to say, this is, I think, easily becomes my favorite of the game. Simply because it really ties it down better with the overall experience of Jurassic Park. Because I think a lot of people in the community had the problem that they are so hardcore lovers of Jurassic Park Origin Genesis, you know, so I am, that, you know, the new theme around Jurassic World kind of doesn't feel the same, you know. And even though Jurassic World Evolution was a good game, and some of the quirks and little bits that people were complaining about were also, you know, partly nostalgia and the missing feeling of the OG Jurassic Park, you know, theme. And what this game does, I think it ties it way better together by still sticking to the new setting of, you know, Jurassic World Dominion obviously is the kind of bigger frame, and you can go way more out into the vast, you know, possibilities that the whole world offers you. And so, you know, given that, with all the improvements over the game that we already know and love, this is a huge step forward. Please don't make the mistake to compare this game, by the way, to, for example, Prehistoric Kingdom. This is not meant to be another Planet game. This is not meant to be anywhere close to Planet Zoo or Prehistoric Kingdom in terms of, you know, customizability. And I think it's fair, you know. This is a different game. This is a Jurassic Park franchise management game. You have all the licenses, you have all the dinosaurs from the franchise. You've got everything you can imagine, you know. There are a couple of new options with the building styles and stuff. Really good stuff, and I'm super happy. I enjoyed the playthrough a lot. I need to play the game again to really get a full view on it, but I can definitely tell you guys, also for those of you who might not be like hardcore Jurassic World Evolution fans, you potentially would have also watched the videos somewhere else. So I tried to give you the, you know, overview of a kind of more or less casual Jurassic World player coming from Planet Zoo hardcore playing. I can definitely tell you this game is worth focusing on because it really looks good, it really feels good, plays good, and there's a couple of new things in there which makes me very happy, and so it will hopefully make you very happy. Thank you for listening, thank you for watching this review. Again, if you guys are interested in the full game play of 1 hour and 10 minutes, it's on the channel, you can click it, and in the next coming weeks there's a lot more to come about this game. So, you know, if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to see more of it. And now have a wonderful day, have a wonderful weekend, and goodbye.